Alarm on fix, ready for my fix. No drugs, no booze, I get high on my moves. Mirror talk, yeah, we up. Tie my laces, tighten up. Doubt into dust, fear into trust. Make your move. Make your move. Stretch first, warm it up, quench your thirst. Like Monster, gotta go. Stack MQT, watch it grow. One more rep for the days you were tired. One more lap when you feel uninspired. One more choice that protects your peace. Lace up tight, feel the ground shake. Every step's a dollar I make. Left foot, right foot, it's a game we play. Health and wealth in a single sway.
Step by step, watch me climb. Every move I'm cashing time. Run, walk, jump, it's all mine. Get healthy, get wealthy, redefine. Yeah, get healthy, get wealthy.
Redefined. What's my currency? No bank in sight. Sunrise to sunset, I own the night. Every stretch, every twist has a price. This grind pays twice, it's paradise. No excuses, no delay. Every motion makes my
Yeah,
payday.
hey, step by step,
Watch me climb. Every move I'm cashing time.
run, walk, jump.
It's all mine. Get healthy, get wealthy.
Yeah,
Redefine.
hey, step by
step. Watch me climb. Every move I'm cashing time.
Run, walk, jump.
It's all mine. Get healthy, get wealthy. Redefine.
Stumble, fall, I'm still in the race. Each bruise another badge I embrace. Momentum builds, can't erase the sound of coins in every pace. Every pace, every pace. Yeah, from my
Get healthy, get wealthy, redefine.
I ain't trading minutes for a paper wage. I'm writing my own story on a digital page. Every step is a heartbeat, every breath is a toll. I'm uploading the fire from the depths of my soul. The satellite is watching, the ledger's open wide. There ain't no room for lazy, and there ain't no place to hide. MoveQuest calling, the signal is green. I'm the most valuable motor in this whole machine. This is my proof of life, forged in the struggle and the daily strife. I'm moving to earn, I'm earning to grow. From the top of the mountain to the valley below, it's a blockchain bond that you cannot break. My sweat is the currency, my life is the stake. Proof of life. They used to say wealth was a suit and a tie, but a man in a cage is just waiting to die. Now the wealth is your health, is the law of the land. I'm holding my future in the palm of my hand. A verified movement, a signature, a bone. I'm reclaiming the power of the heavy unknown. This is my proof of life, forged in the struggle and the daily strife. I'm moving to earn, I'm burning to grow. From the top of the mountain to the valley below, it's a blockchain bond that you cannot break. My sweat is a currency, my life is a stake. Meant to milestone, meant to pain. Nothing to lose and a world to gain. Immutable, verifiable, unstoppable. A song, soul, electric guitar, solo. Lots of bends and high notes, keeping that song sexy BPM energy high. This is my proof of life, forged in the struggle and the daily strife. I'm moving to earn, I'm burning to grow. From the top of the mountain to the valley below. Move to earn your soul. Move to take control. The ledger is witness to the miles I've run. Proof of life, verified, verified.
All right, all right. I want to welcome everybody back to
MoveQuest information calls, special calls we're having on Thursdays while we're anticipating the release or launch of the MoveQuest blockchain along with other blockchains into our ecosystem. These calls are set aside for Ms. Lynette Orton to come on and actually share information that is impactful and pertaining specifically to what that actually means for our community. So once again, we want to thank everybody for being here to share and receive that information. One thing to note before we get the call started, Ms. Lynette mentioned this past Tuesday that she's going to be doing a giveaway of some of the MoveQuest chips. So I'm sure she's going to go more in detail in reference to that on tonight's call. However, if you would check out the chat box, you should see one message, and in that message, it asks for you to complete the attached Google form in order to receive tonight's MoveQuest chip giveaway. It's a Google form. Please put in your mining wallet address so that after the call, Ms. Lynette can actually submit or send those chips to everyone. Yes, originally we were going to have everyone, switch or change their wallet address on their Zoom profile. However, in order to capture and validate and make sure everything is what it needs to be, where it needs to be to simplify the process of sending that out, the Google form is going to be the most efficient way for us to do that. So if you please check out the chat, and that form will be available from now until the last song is played tonight after we wrap the call. Any submissions after that will not be able to be put in. So we have this call to make sure that that happens. Outside of that, Mr. Hayden, I see you're here with us this evening. If you have any quick notes you want to share or updates, information, inspiration, please go right ahead and we'll yield the floor over to Ms. Lynette.
Mr. Herschel Crow, live and direct. How you doing tonight, my friend?
Wonderful, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good evening, everyone. Crypto, Web3, and blockchain fanatics. Welcome to another special Thursday edition of the MoveQuest Community Call event. As Mr. Herschel Crow said, my name is Hayden Andre, your friendly neighborhood digital asset investor. Live, energized, fired up, and as always, we are living in the zone of success. And what I'm looking at here is 2026 seems to be shaping up to be an explosive moment in time for MoveQuest, and not just for MoveQuest, for every single one of you. So stay focused on the basics. We don't want to have any mishaps out here. Prioritize safety, security, and best practices. The founder and architect behind the idea of MoveQuest, Miss Lynette Orton, she will be having some empowering goodies to share with all of you tonight, all of us tonight. So let's get right into it. Machine mode is in full effect all day, every day, day after day. And as you know, the machine does not stop until the mission objective is complete. Stay focused, stay rich, level up, and let's max out this beautiful gift called life. Mr. Herschel, back over to you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for that, Mr. Hayden. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and yield the floor to Miss Lynette Orton. Lynette, are you with us this evening, ma'am? And while she's coming on, I just want to state that some of you have mentioned, thank you for sharing that in the Q&A, that you may not, that the chat is closed. Please, if somebody can verify that okay, I just got it, boom. So everyone can see and access the link that is in the chat box. Perfect.
And I'll be dropping it every few minutes or something so that people, as they're coming in, they'll be able to fill out the form and see it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, ma'am. All right, Miss Lynette, how are you this evening, ma'am?
Good, I'm good. Do I have an echo?
You have to keep I can hear you clearly at the moment.
Okay, good. So no echo, right?
You're good.
None at all? Okay. Sorry, I had to make sure because of where I'm at. It doesn't sound very good on my end. All right, so we got a few things to go over. First and foremost, you guys know that we have the pay-as-you-mine miners that are ready. Is Waleed on the line yet? He's going to go over, he's going to share his screen If you could raise your hand while
I got it.
he's here yet.
I got it.
He's going to share his screen and go over how to set that up.
Perfect.
And then I guess I don't really want to get into the other stuff because we're going to go over this first as he accepted let me look at WhatsApp and see. How's everybody's Thursday?
Doing good.
Hopefully good. Awesome. Well, I guess instead of waiting on Wally to come out, that didn't sound good, did it? We'll just go on with my presentation, and when he gets available, he can let us know. I'll share my screen real quick.
He's here. He's here.
Okay, good. Where do you see him? I don't see him.
He just has to unmute.
I'm here.
There he is.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, very good.
Hello.
So you want to just share your screen, Waleed, and show people how this works?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's start with that. Okay. All right. I want to make sure that everybody can see my screen.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So let me present really quick the pay as you mine feature that we've included in the app fully and in the website partially. I'll explain that. But let's start from the beginning. So the pay as you mine feature will appear once you claim your phantom miners. So once you claim your phantom miners, you go to the app in the dock section. You can select your active phantoms. You can go up to 18 if you have an empty dock. If you have something in the dock, it's going to be capped at 9. And you will see that right there. This is important to explain. If I add one miner to my dock, I'm sorry. Yeah, I wanted to show that right there. Okay, same thing. Okay, so if I have one miner or multiple miners in my dock, it would show me currently using 9 phantom, even if I've selected 18. If I take out my miner, meaning an empty dock, it's going actually to use the 18 phantoms. So if you have something in your dock, full dock, Titans, whatever, you can still use the phantoms, but they will be capped at 9 phantoms. Okay, so yeah, so right there, 18 phantoms are mining, no restriction, no limit. Okay, and now let's go to the pay as you mine, which is right there. So when you click there, it will ask you to set your pay as you mine amount, and this amount will be paid at each submission. So I'm going to choose, let's say, $2 per submission or $1, or I can select whatever amount I want. Save it. So I'm going to pay an extra $1 per submission. And once it's selected, at every submission I'm going to do, it's going to show me right there in the fees at the bottom. It's going to say submission fees. Then it's going to say pay as you mine, and I'm receiving 9 chips for this amount of MQTs, or in Avalanche for the appropriate amount in AVAX. So each chip costs $0.1. Okay, so if I submit this one, I'm going to submit. Okay, it's telling me I've received 9 chips, and if I go to my external wallet, I should see my chips right there. Okay, so they should be right there, my Q chips, in my external wallet. Now, this is how you pay as you mine. If I want to stop that, I just go to pay as you mine and I delete this one. So I cancel my pay as you mine. So it's going to be removed and it's going to say pay as you mine not set, meaning I'm not paying any extra fee. And you can activate it back and forth as you want. You can even make one-time submission with let's say a big amount if you wanna mint a NFT, a miner. You hit save, you go to submit, then you just cancel it. So uh, you don't have to make this pay as you mine at each submission. So you do it once, then you deactivate it. Okay, again, right there. We should be good. Yeah, we should be good. Okay. Now, how to get from chips to miners. So you just go to your inventory. You have a new section called Assemble Miners. You click there. It's going to ask you, do you want to mint a Trailblazer or an Explorer? And it's going to show you the amount of Q chips that it's going to require. And it's going to make the calculation right there. And you can choose how much you want to mint. Let's say I want to mint 7 Trailblazers, for example. I click continue. It's going to ask me to pay with chips and I'm going to confirm. And the same way we use the MQT in the app, you're going to use the chips the same way, meaning that you will have to send them from your external wallet to your internal wallet. So make sure when you go to your internal wallet, you have the amount of Q chips to mint the miner from there. Yeah, that's all the pay as you mine feature.
Awesome. So that's pretty easy. Now, I was multitasking. So when you guys, you can do the pay as you mine. So you can set it up. Let's say if somebody doesn't have all of the money, they can mine with phantoms and do the additional submission and pay as they go. And did you show them how to shut it off on the pay as you go
Yeah. So
if they didn't want to do it for one day or whatnot?
yeah, exactly. So right now in my screen, you can see that my pay as you mine is saying I'm paying $4 per submission. I just go to pay as you mine, click the cancel or cross button. It's going to remove it and it's going to show me pay as you mine not set, meaning that you don't have any pay as you mine fees that you are going to pay. And if you click the submission, unfortunately, I don't have a submission right now running, but if you click the submission, you won't see the line when it says you are paying this amount of fees to get this amount of chips. So that's a regular submission. So that's how you do it. You enable it.
Right.
You go to
You make
you
the
go to,
payment when you submit.
exactly. So you make the payment when you submit. You receive the chips when you submit immediately after you've submitted. So it's in real time. So you are getting the chips right away.
Yeah. Now it's the same thing if you're going to buy a Trailblazer outright, and let's say you buy 1,000 chips, Q chips, you would
Yeah,
have to
same.
submit before you get those Q chips.
Yeah, you do one submission. So if you want to do it in one time, you go to pay as you mine. You select the amount of the Trailblazer. You can do it either from the app or you can do it also from the website. Let me show you this. You can do it also from the website. If you go to your doc section, you will see right there that I can select, for example, I want to, okay, I want, for example, to pay $100, which is one Trailblazer. I'm going to confirm the transaction. Okay, the transaction should go.
You got 28,000 steps today, Wally?
The what? Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah,
You're
I
listening
mean,
to
I
me
want.
now. You're getting away from your computer. Yay.
Yeah, I didn't use my car, by the way, for 2 weeks now, so I don't know if even if it's still working or not. So I'm trying to avoid using my car and my computer at the same time. Okay, let's get back. So, okay. Did I do? Oh, no, I did it on the test net. Give me a second. I mean, I can go back to the test net, but let me do it
It's the
on.
same process. You just go to your dashboard, just tell them where to do it on the mining dock. So you just do the same thing. Just go to the
Yeah,
mining dock
exactly.
and you'll see it there.
Yeah, you go to the mining dock, you put in, for example, $100, you pay it. Well, not you pay it, but you set it, meaning that at each submission you are paying $100 and you do one submission only. Okay, it
And
should
then you'll receive the
be,
Q chips.
yeah. Then you receive
Now we're gonna
the Q.
we're gonna add the Q chips to the store, so you don't have to go through this process when you're minting a Trailblazer and Explorer. You can do it right in the store menu.
Mhm.
But until Waleed's able to add that to the user interface, you can do it this way. Now remember, we set up the 50% commission. So if you share the app, any direct referral pays you a 50% commission as soon as they purchase that Trailblazer or the Explorer. So the Explorers are $150, so it's a $75 commission. The Trailblazers are $100, so that's a $50 commission. So if somebody was going to do all 18 docks with 18 Trailblazers, you would make a $900 commission on that referral. So that's pretty good, I think. And if they were to do the Explorers, they did 18 of them, you would make $13.50. And that's paid in AVAC because you buy the Q chips with AVAC. Because we do the commission, we take the AVAC for the Q chips. We don't take MoveQuest because we don't want to pay out commission using MoveQuest, which would add selling pressure to the token.
Yeah.
So does everybody understand that pretty much?
The most important thing that I want people to focus on is that every time you submit, pay attention to this line, which is below the submission fees. It says you are paying as you mine. You are receiving 1,000 ships in my case, and you are paying this amount in AVAX. This is the most important line, so you don't mess up your submissions, you don't overpay if you don't want to get the ships. So always when you submit, pay attention to the second line and pay attention at the total amount of fees you are paying. If you have the pay to mine right there and you want to get rid of it for a certain time or disable it, you just go to the pay as you mine and you disable it from there.
Perfect.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Waleed. Is that pretty simple and straightforward? I know it might be confusing at first. If somebody's coming in and they just want to get started with the Trailblazers or the Explorers, it'll be easier just to go straight to the store. But just make sure you share your activation code. So that is like I said, the direct commission, and that's already in place. So you can, you would start receiving that immediately. If it's the pay as you mine, you get it every time they make a payment on the pay as you mine and receive their Q chips. So whenever they submit, you would be able to go into your back office and you would claim it. You would claim it under networking. All right. So you just go to the networking section of the dashboard and then you can claim those earnings from there.
I should probably show that also. Yeah,
About?
I should probably show that. And I should show two things. In the website, when you go to your wallets and you go to the fuel your in-app wallet, you have this drop-down list where you can select, for example, if you have chips, you can send them to your internal wallet from there. So from the
Or
website,
anybody's
you can,
wallet.
yeah, anybody's wallet. I mean,
You can transfer these.
yeah, I mean, transferring the Q chips is as simple as getting them from your wallet or MetaMask or whatever. So these are the Q
Same as
chips.
transferring MoveQuest.
Yeah, it works same transferring MoveQuest. So this is a shortcut to send your Q chips to your internal wallet so you can mint your miners. So if I want to transfer 100, for example, or 1,000 for a Trailblazers, I would do it from there, send, or you can send them from MetaMask to your internal wallet. I mean, just like you do with MoveQuest. When you purchase Boost, it's the same process, same thing. It's just another token that you can use to do stuff. And if you go to your networking section, you will have your pay as you mine, which will be your commissions for all your direct sales, meaning people that are directly under you. So every time they purchase and they pay with the pay as you mine, you receive 50% as commission right there, and you receive them in AVAX and you just claim them.
Yep, they go right to your wallet immediately. Instant, in real time. Again, the good part of being truly decentralized. You're not waiting on us to do that for you. All right, I'm going to share my screen now because I have a few things to share. I'm not going to keep you guys real long. I've been sick all day today, so I'm not going to get too deep into anything tonight. Tuesday night, hopefully I'll be feeling back to myself. I don't know what my problem is today.
And real quick, while you're doing
But I
that,
do want to
those
go
chips.
over.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real
Go
quick,
ahead, sorry.
those chips can be sent from wallet to wallet as well, or no?
Yes,
They can? Yes.
you have to do it with
Exactly like
MetaMask. So you'd have to. Well, did you put the contract address on the website
it's going to be
for the
added
Q
in a few.
chips?
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All right,
going
so
to be
we'll
added in
add
a
the
few.
contract.
Okay.
Yep, same as you would transfer any other token, but you have to add the contract address to the wallet.
Okay. Perfect.
So I'm going to go over a few things tonight too, real quick. Okay, let me see. I didn't get rid of some of the stuff on here, but that's all right. Just so you guys can see, I wanted to have a list of things I need to go over. The pay as you mine, which we already did, that pays that direct referral 50%. Then remember the DAC slots. When they open up DAC slots 2 through 18, you get that free Vanguard. So now, not only are you getting the 50% direct commission on Trailblazers and Explorers, but you also get that free Vanguard when they dock that 18th DAC slot or unlock that 18th DAC slot. So everybody understands that that's there. We have removed the Trailblazers from the mining dock. All right. So now when a person unlocks their dock slot, they will get the navigators and not the Trailblazers. All right. If people want the Trailblazers, they now mint those. They're $100 like they used to be. They were always $100, right? But we were giving them away as a promotion as we were building the community. So now they mint those Trailblazers. You get that 50% commission. If you want the Vanguards, you would get those through the incubator. If you want the Titans, then you would level and merge those up through the evolution. So those of you on these free navigators, now those have a $50 value. If those are free, all right, so it's $800 that we're giving you if you load up the all 18 dot slots, which I think it's that, right? 1,800, 900, it's $900 worth of navigators that we're giving you. There's two things when you guys are sharing the project with other people. They can evolve the navigators to a Trailblazer, but it would still be that $100 fee, right? When they evolve. So it's not, they don't get the $50 discount. Trailblazers used to be 50 in the evolution. You would evolve a navigator to a Trailblazer, but now because those Trailblazers, they didn't pay anything for them. They still have to pay the $100 for the Trailblazer. So they get through the evolution, but because it's still the same price, I would let everybody know that you're sharing this with. It's better just to hold on to those navigators, because if you evolve your navigators to a Trailblazer, you're still going to pay the Trailblazer cost of $100 regardless. The difference is if you just mint the Trailblazers using the Q chips, they would get their 18 Trailblazers for the same cost as evolving the navigators, right? There's no difference in cost. The difference is that if you evolve them, you lose the navigators because those get traded in for the Trailblazer. But if you do it using the Q chips, they get to keep the 18 navigators plus they get the 18 Trailblazers for the same price. You get the commission because they use the Q chips. Now they've got 18 navigators when we turn the leasing on. So they just added 18, digital assets to their wallet for future leasing. So to me, that's the best way to go. Bank the navigators to put them up for leasing later, mint the trailblazers with using the Q chips. Now with the explorers, those of you who have trailblazers or navigators or trailblazers, you could still evolve them for your explorers. And then the vanguards have gone up in price. All right, so it's back to the 450. So it's a full $800 to get to a Titan. We changed that back today. For those of you that had noticed, or maybe you didn't notice, I had still not increased that on the vanguards, giving people some extra time to get those Titan miners if they wanted to. But that ended today. Trailblazers were removed from the mining dock today, and navigators were added. Now remember, April 15th, I've changed the date from March 28th to April 15th. The dock slot fees will go up to $100 from $80. When we launch our blockchain, we will remove the free navigators from the mining dock slots. We won't give those away anymore in the mining dock slot. All promotions will end when we start our blockchain. So your new evolution prices, or they're not new, they're going back to their original prices. Navigators, trailblazers, $100 because we give those away in the mining dock. So there isn't a $50 payment on a navigator, right, to charge only the $50. The Trailblazer to Explorer has got a $50 evolution fee. The Explorer to Vanguard has a $25 fee. Now you've paid $175 for your Vanguards. Again, the evolution is great, but if you go to the incubator and you spend $175 on the Vanguard in the incubator, you're going to get 0.0001 MoveQuest per MoveQuest spent on your Vanguard. So if you spend $175 on Vanguard in the incubator, you're going to be able to mine additional rewards in the incubator hatchery for 222 days. If you go to and evolve them up to the Vanguards, you don't have that incubator reward. So the evolution doesn't have that, but the incubator does. Just want to make sure everybody's clear on those couple of different, variations of that. And then when you have your Vanguard and you want to go to a Titan, you come back to the evolution. You would merge two Vanguards for one Titan for $450. When you add all that up, it makes the Titan $800. Now we're going to talk about the mining fees a little bit. Our mining fees are perfect right now, where the ecosystem and the evolution, the ecosystem and the liquidity and proportional to the amount of MoveQuest that's going out on a daily basis. While we're doing the mirrored miners, we cannot adjust the mining fees. Why? Because of the amount of miners that we are going to be giving out in that mirrored promotion. So for example, if you're mining with 18 Titans and we give you 18 Titans plus all of your dock slots at no cost on all the blockchains, including the MoveQuest blockchain, that's like $81,000 in MoveQuest product that you're getting just for submitting for 90 days. And so we can't find anywhere that justifies lowering that submission cost while this promotion is going on. However, when we launch the blockchain, Waleed is going to add a power control center feature. And what that means is that you're going to have a grid in the app where you can decide to submit using a percentage of your mining power. So if you have 18 Titans, which is 7,200% minimum, okay, because that doesn't include your element and your attribute bonuses that you get. So your mining power could be higher than the 7,200%, but the base mining power on 18 Titans is 7,200%. So if you only want to mine with 10%, meaning 720% mining power, it will lower your fees based on the amount of mining power that you choose to use. So all you would do is just slide it up or down that grid. If you want it at 100%, then you're paying 100% of the fees, mining at 100% capacity. If you only want to mine at 50%, then you would be mining with what, 3,600, 7,000, 3,500, yeah, 36, right? 3,600% mining power, and it would cut your fees in half. We can't justify the drop in the fee while this promotion is on. Hopefully everybody understands that. But how you can control your fees is by lower powered miners or removing miners from your dock and submitting with less miners. So if you've got 18 Trailblazer, it's roughly about $1.80 a day. If you only want to spend 30 cents a day submitting, then you would want to remove 15 of those Trailblazers from your mining dock. Now, here's what you have to understand. When you're in the hatchery, it doesn't matter what you're mining with. It doesn't matter if you're mining with one Trailblazer or if you're mining with 18 Titans. What you're farming in the hatchery is not based on what you're mining with. It's only based on your daily engagement, submitting. So it doesn't matter if you're submitting with a 10-cent submission fee on a Trailblazer or a 40-cent submission fee on a Titan. What matters is how many MoveQuest did you stake and how many, and the fact that you're submitting, okay? That's all that matters there. So if you're not concerned about the mirrored miners, remember, one Trailblazer per blockchain is better than no miners on all of those blockchains. Even if you're mining with one Trailblazer across 6 blockchains, we're giving you $600 worth of miners. So even if you're only submitting with one Trailblazer a day, which is 10 cents, go in the hatchery, make sure you stake in the hatchery so you can farm that additional MoveQuest without having to pay that higher fee. You're not going to get a lot in the mirrored miners, but you're still getting that MoveQuest that's being farmed in the hatcheries, and you're submitting with less fees. You can control it yourself by removing those miners from the mining data. The next thing, we will do the dynamic mining fees, but our community, the engagement in the community has got to increase a bit more, because if we change it right now, it's really no different than where we were with the dynamic mining, meaning 3,000 MoveQuest going out a day, regardless of how large or small the community is in the submission. You are going to still end up in the same boat. Right now, everything is super balanced and super stable. So as the community begins to increase, you'll start to see those fees decrease. Meaning, if we add an additional 500 people to our community who are mining every day, you'll start to see those fees drop down. You add another 1,000 people to the community, you'll start to see those fees drop down. They'll adjust. But we can't just set it right now based on that promotion. So I'm hoping that everybody completely understands that. Now, I'm going to let you know here probably Tuesday at the latest. And we're talking about the MoveQuest Tier 5 Golden Hatchery. So what I want to do is I'm going to go over to one of my spreadsheets here. This one right here, and I'm going to show you where we are sitting. At this point, we have a circulating supply of 208,695 MoveQuest. Okay. One of the things that I was going to explain, come over here and go here. All right. So there have been several market corrections that the ecosystem has attempted. All right. And you can see we got up to, I'm only going to go back probably a week or so. This is January 26th. All right, let's see. What this is gonna, hopefully it doesn't, yeah, it did, but that's all right. Hold on, guys. Let this reload. What I want to do is get over here where I had done some tests up here. We had gotten into about the $8 to $10 range. It wasn't that long ago. Okay, we're up here. We're starting here. You can see we're starting to get into that $7, $6.80 up here. So what is that? Maybe a week ago. So the ecosystem will go in and it will to test the basically the community. It comes out. It will remove a percentage of liquidity, and then it will buy MoveQuest. It'll bring the price up a bit, not a whole lot, maybe 5 cents, 10 cents. Sometimes it'll be $1, and then it injects liquidity back into the pool. And what it is looking at is what's going to happen when this takes place. Is the community going to do a big sell-off? So here, this is kind of one of those situations. It drove the market up just a little bit, and you'll see you have some sell-off. Okay, so then it's like, okay, we're not going to do anything with the market just yet. We're going to let it kind of ride and just keep adding that liquidity. I want to try to get back over here to the. But every time I move this mark, it wants to move my. Here we go. Wants me to go backwards. So you can see when it goes up, the algorithm watches all of this to see if it can break through or past a resistance point. And it really hasn't. So what does that tell you? That tells you that people who are wanting to sell MoveQuest, they're not waiting for the market to go higher. They're happy at that $6 market value because they will sell it crazy between the $7 and $6 now. When I say crazy, somebody initials F, I would love to know who you are, but I have no clue. Will say, has made different comments about like the question about, well, I thought this dynamic mining would fix the selling pressure. So to show you that it has, you see here the buying volume is 8,000 and the selling volume was 6,000. Now, before that dynamic mining was put in place, you would see selling at $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 to $300,000 sometimes a day. Okay, and you don't see that anymore. So it has drastically decreased that selling pressure by almost 80 to 85%. But we still want the market value to go up higher, but not at an inflated market value, because that does nobody any good whatsoever. All that does, the ecosystem could drive the market value up into the $30, $40 range with no problem. But what we would see is a dramatic sell pressure, right? People who are holding will sell, bring it back down into the probably 10 to $8 to $10 range. What purpose did that serve, right? Because if you can't maintain it and stabilize it at the market value it's going up to, then there's no point in having that market value go there. So what the ecosystem has done over the last probably 60 days is really, one, let the selling pressure get settled into some normalcy, which we've seen that happen. And now it's about padding those points, those market value points, so that it stabilizes there. So when you're looking at the market value, let's see, get over to today. At the end. Okay, here we go. So you see the buys and you see the sells. Okay, so it shows you that when people are buying, there's still the community that's selling. So this is a comfort. This is the comfort spot right here. Okay, this is where the algorithm feels comfortable maintaining this market value. Now, I was going to go over my spreadsheets tonight. I haven't had a chance. I've been sick and I've been sleeping most of the day. So I wasn't able to get everything ready for tonight because I want to show you guys once again what the market value is going to do with growth. So you can see how fast this can shoot to $100 and still be stable, so that when you see selling pressure, it doesn't drop that much. So even right now, with the liquidity, well, what was it? 2 days ago was at what, $320,000, $350,000. The algorithm and the ecosystem feels comfortable really injecting that liquidity depth at that $6 to $7 range. And that's exactly what it did. It was almost $200,000 that it added yesterday. But it's added almost probably close to $1 million just in the last month. So the community is taking really good money home from MoveQuest, okay? But at the same time, it has a stable market value. And so when it injected that liquidity, it padded this market value because this is where the ecosystem feels stable. This is what the current community is able to keep moving on a daily basis with the current submissions. Now, this can change overnight, all right? Almost immediately overnight. Now, if you were only mining, the 650 or 700 MoveQuest a day that were going out, it would be a different story as far as the mining fees go. But you got to remember all of the mining or the farming that's taking place over in the golden hatcheries. Okay, so you got to make sure that the liquidity is stable when those cards are done. And so that is, another part of the ecosystem and the algorithm that is carefully calculated. Now, talking about the Tier 5 Golden Hatchery for Waleed, I did confirm that this is not something new that has to be recreated, that we can add as many tiers to the Golden Hatchery as we want to. I would really love to see this value. I don't know why I always hit those cells. I would really like to see that 208,000 down to about 200 is great, but 150,000 would be perfect. And I'm going to show you something here real quick. I have to change some numbers. So I'm going to turn this 51,000. It's going to really drastically change this number. So just ignore it. But what I'm trying to do is let you see what happens here. So we're going to take 100. I think this is where I need to do it at 100,000. Yep. All right. So 50,000 MoveQuest tokens is going to leave 158,000 circulating. Now, what I want you to see here is what this did. We're overflow with liquidity at this point, meaning the market value of this token will not drop when it's being sold. Why? Because it's got $70,000 overflow in the liquidity pool. And that means when people are selling, it's stabilizing at that market value. When people are buying, it goes up. Okay, but it can stabilize at that $6 market value that we're currently at. And from there, our liquidity pool is fluid. You never see a fluid liquidity pool in a project. Now, I'm going to take this back down to the 50. Oops. 51, there we go. Okay. And we're back at the 208,000, and you can see here now the pool is 320,000 USDT short of being completely fluid. So right now we're 25% away from being fluid. We're currently almost 7% away from being fluid. So when the ecosystem injected that liquidity over the last couple of days, it is getting us closer and closer to being fluid based on what the community is doing every single day with the MoveQuest tokens. So when we decrease that selling pressure even more, it will put even more depth into that liquidity pool. And so what I'm trying to do is get this down to that 150 MoveQuest tokens that's circulating. So by adding tier 5, it's only going to allow 50,000 MoveQuest tokens, okay, to go in there. It's going to pay more than tier 4, but you're going to have a longer farming period, okay? So people can use it or they don't have to, but that's the reason for the tier 5. So it will pay a higher reward. It will only accept 50 100,000 of those tokens, because we have to make sure that we still have enough circulating in the ecosystem for when that growth does hit. But it allows the ecosystem to really stabilize and really get that firm foundation. And this can happen very quickly over the next couple of weeks. So those of you that have that 208,000 that's just sitting in your wallets, you're going to be able to go into that tier 5 and stake those tokens, or put them in tier 3, tier 4, whatever. But that is what the goal is. And the goal is to make sure that we can get fluid. Now, the ecosystem has quite a bit, not quite a bit, but a decent amount of USDT that's banked for like the hatchery releases and things of that nature. So when that happens and it injects, let's say that 320,000, and if there's only 150,000 MoveQuest tokens circulating, instead of having $69,000 overflow in the liquidity pool, we would have almost 400,000 or $500,000 really, almost in overflow. So now you've got a massively stable liquidity pool. And when we start to build, and this community is growing, and it's getting ready to start, you guys. Okay, we're training people and getting them ready to start bringing in their teams. So it is happening. How fast or how long it takes, I'm not sure, but we're working on it, and we're already in, putting that together. You won't have an inflated market value. Okay, like when we first listed the token, which happens with any project, people are buying the MoveQuest token, they're minting their miners so that they can start to mine. It drove the market value up to $100, but it wasn't sufficient liquidity to maintain a $100 market value. Now, when you have a liquidity pool that has overflow, it has a very balanced circulating supply, and you've got your new users who want to start mining that are buying MoveQuest to mint their miners, you're going to see a stable market value. So as that market value is increasing, not only does it have the overflow in the liquidity pool, but now you're submitting, you've got more engaged users submitting, and so it's going to stabilize that higher market value so that you see less volatility like what you see in these other crypto tokens. So I'm hoping that all of this is making sense to you guys as to why and how this ecosystem and the algorithm works. It's all about structure. It's all about doing things the right way and making sure that what you're involved in is stable, has a stable market value. There are no rug pulls here. You don't have to worry about crashes or any of that garbage, right? Because we've removed all of that from this project. It never was here. We didn't remove it. We just never added any of those silly features that your other projects have. We don't sell MoveQuest. We don't use MoveQuest to pay any of the project expenses. We don't use MoveQuest to pay direct commissions. We don't use MoveQuest, period. So it never gets sold on this side of things. Only the community can sell MoveQuest. And so you don't have the project community or competing with its actual community. And because of the way this whole thing is structured and set up, it's very balanced, very sound, very stable. And we're really that close. 50,000 MoveQuest tokens staked and farming MoveQuest is going to be the catalyst that really sets this thing on fire. So that's what we're working on. Waleed's done now with the pay as you mine. And he's going to start focusing on the MQT Pay wallet and the blockchain, even though I'm still bugging him to get at least the challenges ready. So at the very least, we can create project challenges, even if the community can't create them yet. So we're trying to prioritize what's most important for that viral growth that this project deserves, and we'll see. I mean, you guys, seriously, this is amazing. 80% of the MoveQuest is staked and farming or MoveQuest in the hatchery. That means only 20% is circulating. And when we remove that, extra 50,000, which there's going to be a lot of you diehards here that have a lot of MoveQuest, you're going to go into tier 5 because that's what you're doing anyway. You're staking your MoveQuest for the long term because you know what project's going to do and why you're doing that. And so I'm very confident when we launch the tier 5. Now, that's not going to be here forever, you guys. It's literally just limited time so that we can balance out the ecosystem exactly to the point we want to get it to and set this thing on fire, seriously, and make this go through the roof. The first indicator was when it padded very heavily at the $6 and something. I think it was $6.03. I can't remember where it injected it at. That was your first sign that it's comfortable at that market value. And so now, if we can get just a little more of that out of circulation, then the ecosystem is going to be able to do even more with that liquidity pool. It's kind of a big thing to do right now. We're almost there, you guys. We've spent time, as you all know, getting this where it needs to be. And I'm glad, right? We're not that pump and dump project here today and gone in 6 months or a year. This will be here, like I said, long beyond my lifetime. And it will be stable, and it'll be something that you can bank on, and that you can count on. And so that's what we're building here for all of you. And we work for our community, okay? We know what we're doing. We're doing it the right way. Some people may not understand everything. That's okay. But when you see me explain this part, hopefully at least you understand that this is very strong. It is very stable, and we're so close. I mean, you don't see these numbers with other projects. So I think, let me go back to my sheet here. I think that was it. Yep, that's all I got ready to go over tonight. So hopefully you guys are excited about what we're doing. Hopefully you understand why we can't change that fee structure right now. I mean, if we did that right now with the size of the community, we might as well, add back the 3,000 MoveQuest a day in the mining, because changing the mining fee structure would be equivalently the same. So we can't do that yet. We really need the community to grow, but you can control what you spend on your submission fees by just undocking miners. Stake in the hatchery so that you still get the MoveQuest you want per day, and only submit with the lower powered miners or with fewer miners. That's how you can control it. But on our end, Waleed and I, we seriously, we're fist fighting virtually yesterday. It's just something that we cannot do now. Right? We've got the infrastructure set, and we love to make the community happy, but I don't make decisions by being a person's best friend and doing what they want us to do, because it makes life easier on them. I have to do what's best for this project and for the community as a whole. And so it makes, it can get very stressful for Waleed mental. I'm not the easiest person to work with, you guys. Had you not noticed? Poor Waleed, he's just been stuck with me for 4.5 years. Yeah, we have the moments, but you guys, we're there. I mean, we're literally right there. And so when MQT Pay comes out, and Waleed and I saw to go over all these features, I'm not going to say too much. I know there's a lot of things that can be added into that wallet system. It'll be free to use like everybody else, right? All the other wallets, but you're bridging and you're swapping and you're doing all these different things within that wallet, and those bring in fees. You think MetaMask does this for free? No. Trust doesn't do it for free either. Every time you swap another token, every time, they don't make money on the tokens you store there. They don't make money because you use or download their wallet and get a wallet address. They make money, with the third parties that are swapping on the back end and doing stuff like that. They get fees that way. That'll add liquidity. Get blockchain. That's massive utility. That's going to really help out the liquidity pool too. So if you guys can hang on for a few more months, I think you're going to really see some life-changing results here. And hopefully you guys can see this. Even if you don't fully understand it, you can probably at least get the drift of what is happening here. And it's very strong. So with that, I'm going to hand it back over to you, Herschel.
All right. Thank you for that. That was a lot, but very exciting. I got a couple quick questions here. I definitely want to make sure everybody's clear and understands, because I got quite a few questions in reference to a Tier 5 hatchery. At this moment, there is no Tier 5 hatchery. Waleed has just verified with you that being able to implement one is possible with no issues. Is there a time frame in which that may appear for those that want to participate in that? And
If so, will they be able to go directly into it, or do they still, or is the process still the same where you have to go into the nest first?
I haven't gone over all the details with Waleed yet. He's on the call. He can answer that one probably better than I can. I think if, maybe if you're I'll have to see if you can add that in there. If they're in tier 4, that you can deposit in tier 5. I'll have to see what conditions we can set on tier 5. And it is only going to be 50,000. It won't be more than that, because otherwise we would create too much scarcity with the token. And it would be a longer hold time. The reward will be higher. Same thing would apply if you cancel. You get your MoveQuest back, but you wouldn't get any farming rewards back. So you have to stay in for the full length of time in order to get those rewards that are in the tier 5. Obviously, that tier is what's going to take us to the amount of token that we want in circulation. So the reward for people who do that is higher. I would like to see it done as quickly as possible. It shouldn't be that difficult because that smart contract is written to be able to add as many tiers as we want to. So if we do it, and not if we do it, we are going to do it, but when we have it completed, even if it's done tomorrow, I will not have him turn that feature on until Tuesday night's call. That way everybody has got the same amount of notice, can prepare for it, can decide how many of your MoveQuests that you want to deposit into it, and we'll be able to give you all the details before Tuesday, unless Waleed already knows the answers to these questions and he can explain right now.
Okay, Herschel, can you say the question again?
The tier 5 hatchery, what type of
Yes.
time frame are we looking at before that could potentially be implemented from your end?
Okay, that depends on Lynette.
Okay. And
Yeah,
once
because
go ahead, I'm sorry.
yeah, this is done in a few minutes. So
Okay. Okay.
Right,
Perfect.
it's just the condition. So
Okay.
then go ahead with the next question.
Okay, no, and then I was going to say, will the process be exactly the same where people have to go into the nest first? Or in this instance, will people be able to go directly into tier 5?
okay, so it would work
So here's what I'm
just
going
like
to
the
say.
other tiers.
Hang on real quick. Wait. Because here's what I'm going to tell you what I want it to do. Okay. I don't, if they don't have to go into the nest first, that would be great. But they should have to be in at least tier 3 or tier 4.
Gotcha.
Now, I don't want you to have to rewrite the hatchery contract, Wally. So if that's not possible, that's fine. They would have to go through the nest first.
Which means anybody
Is that what you're
that do
telling me?
that has tokens sitting ready and available to go into tier 5 should they choose to do so, going into the nest now would put them in a better position to jump on it as soon as it's available. Is that correct?
Yeah, and if we do that, here's what I would do. I would say we wouldn't bring tier 5 up for at least 13, 14 days. So with that being said, Wally, without me making your life even more miserable than it is because of me, if
Yeah, it's going to
just
get even more
added tier,
miserable. I feel it. Yeah. Okay.
if we added tier 5, same process, they have to go through the nest. There's nothing on your end except adding tier 5 to the smart contract with its variables. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, that's what we'll do then. So what we'll do is we'll add tier 5 and we'll make it 15 days before it's live, which gives everybody that 10 days that they need in the nest so they can get everything they need in the nest. And they've got 5 days to get themselves set up in 10 days plus the 10 days they need it there. So we'll give you like a 4 or 5 day buffer. Okay. Is that doable, Wally, without causing a whole bunch of craziness? All you have to do, we just add tier 5 to the smart contract, what the variable is, they go in through the nest, easy peasy. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And for people that are already
See,
in
we were
the
able to compromise here.
yeah, right now, yeah. I know. Just for tonight. But yeah, I know you'll come up with something else tomorrow morning, so I'm getting ready.
No, I'm going to stick to this. This will be the perfect way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it works. So you go from the nest to the golden hatchery. You can, if you have already in the golden hatchery, you can renew to the tier four to the tier five if you are coming, just like that said, from the tier four, tier three or tier four. So if you have tier three, tier four, you can renew to the tier five. If you have tier one, tier two, you can renew to the tier three, tier four, and these are the two options to access the fifth tier. Either you go to the nest, then tier five, or you are already in the golden hatchery and you ended your duration and you are renewing. So when you renew, you choose the new tier.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of you in tier 4 want to end your duration unless the math works out higher. So what you'd have to look at is how many days have you already been farming in tier 4? And what would you lose, right,
Hold
if
on,
you were to cancel your tier 4
hold on.
to go into
You
5?
Yeah, you cannot end your tier four. If you end your tier four, you're out of the golden hatchery. You need to go again into the incubator and go back to the golden hatchery. You cannot end it unless you
Okay,
finish
and
the
nobody's
duration.
cards. Okay, and if you finish the duration, then you can go into tier 5. Okay, we got that straight. So they can't,
Yeah,
yeah, they
renewal.
can cancel tier 4. That's what I was trying to explain, Lily. If they cancel tier 4, they would have to enter into the nest to get to tier 5, right? 100%. But what I'm trying to explain to them, let's say I've been mining for the last however many days is in tier 4. If I've got 5,000 MoveQuest, which I do in tier 4, I'm not, I would have to do the math to see if I canceled my tier 4 card so I could move those 5,000 into tier 5. Would I get compensated by being in tier 5 by coming out of tier 4? Or would I be better off staying in tier 4 and just adding to tier 5 so I didn't lose what I've already farmed in tier 4? Because if you cancel your card in the tiers, you get your move plus back, but you lose what you've already farmed. You don't get the reward if it doesn't complete. So that's all I'm trying to explain to them, because they will lose whatever they farmed if they cancel. And then they'd have
Yeah,
to go into the incubator to get into tier 5. So you have to do the math and weigh it out. And since you don't know what the value is going to be, which I'll work on that tonight, so everybody does know tomorrow, so you can kind of make your decision. Based on that, we'll post it. I'll put it out in a notification that goes to your phone as well, so you can see it. And then you'll see it in your notifications inside the app. You can read it. It disappears quickly, so you have to read fast. So I'll try not to make it real lengthy. And then, yeah, so that's what I do. So those of you that want to go into tier 5, and if you already have MoveQuest in your wallet, I'd get it in the incubator. So you, or not the incubator, I'd get it in the nest so you can get those 10 days knocked down. And if we start, say, what's tomorrow, the 23rd? What's 10 days from now? February 3rd, is that, how many days is 15 from now? Keisha, can you help me on that one? Or Herschel, I don't know, I don't have it up here.
Said 15 days from today. That's a day. Was that the
Mm-hmm.
7th? At the 7th, February 7th, something like that?
Okay, so we will make it live on February 7th. So it gives everybody until February 7th to get yourself into the nest. So it's sitting there for its 10 days so you can get your reward and go into the tier 5. And like I said, it's 50,000. It won't be increased at all. So you're going to have to be prepared and be ready. It's going to be, you know, get there if you want to be there fast as you can, and put them in that tier 5. I can't say it'll be here forever. It's limited. So let's say if somebody, you know, when your card is complete, we may lower it down to 40,000, or we may remove it altogether. It just depends on how much MoveQuest is needed in circulation, right? So that we don't get an inflated market value. That's what you don't want. You don't want an inflated market value that's just going to drop in price very quickly when people sell a little bit of MoveQuest. You want that liquidity pool to be stable at each one of these major market value increases so that more people are able to sell at that price without getting that crazy volatility in this market value fluctuation. And that's what, this algorithm pretty much works at to make sure that doesn't happen. So that's going to be, it'll be a hot little feature.
Oh, yeah. And one thing I wanted to touch on too, because one person put a good statement in here, and it was, we want people to add, MQT to the hatchery, not move from tier 4 to tier 5. And I definitely understand and see where they're coming from with that statement. However, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the tier 5 hatchery is going to be a longer time period. So there's also benefit.
Looking at least 1 year, at
Okay.
least 1 year.
So there's also benefit in having
days.
that MQT locked up for a longer period of time for the overall ecosystem. So both add value.
Yeah, that's why you're going to get more. And think of it like this: if somebody's coming out, the tier 4 is almost full, you guys. It's what, 97%, 96%, something like that. When that's full, it's full. I mean, the algorithm, I'll run it through the numbers and see, if it can be increased again. But right now, 765,000 was the max, because only so much MoveQuest can be distributed on a daily basis based on the size of the community, submissions, engagement, yada, 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 right? So as the community grows, then tier 4 can increase. But if the community hasn't grown, then tier 4 can't increase, because it would just increase the supply, right? 210 days from now. So it follows, a system. But if you got a little bit in tier 4 and you're going to cancel it and put it in tier 5, well, you'd have to cancel it. It wouldn't be completed by the time tier 5. It's just going to open up some additional space in tier 4 for other people to use. But I don't want to see tier 4 drop by 50,000 just to move it into tier 5, because it defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do here. So probably it will be beneficial to you, but I'll probably make it so that I deter you from doing that, meaning I'll make sure the numbers aren't so good that you can leave tier 4 to get tier 5, but that tier 5 is good enough that if you add some more to tier 5, keeping tier 4, it'll definitely be beneficial. So hopefully I'm making sense. So I look at everything. I live by the rule. For every action, there's a reaction. So I have to look at all of these pieces. So we're not adding tier 5 just to, spread what's currently farmed or staked to be farming across the 5th tier. We're trying to pull from the 208,000 that's circulating, getting it down to that 158,000 that's circulating versus the 208. So we're really trying to get people to, take what you haven't staked and get it staked and farm in that tier 5. And I know there's still some of you who are in tier 4 that still have a decent amount in your wallets. Just because I don't know who you are, I just know wallet wise. But I think we can get to that 50,000 with no problem with what's currently in circulation.
Right. And and again, I thank the person for that posted that question, because it's a very, very valid statement. And that is the ideal goal, is to leave the tier 4 intact and
leave it there.
New deposits into tier 5. So yes, that is the goal. But one thing I want to highlight, just to make sure, that I do not want to see, and I hope we don't have to have these conversations later. What I don't want to see is someone remove some tokens from the hatchery that's been sitting in there for a couple months from tier 4, and for whatever reason there's no space, or you missed the boat getting into tier 4,
that would be
there's
so
no
bad.
move left in the end, and now you're basically starting from scratch. You lost all that time that you was already in the hatchery. Now you got to go back to the nest and start tier 4 all over again, because that's the only place that there's room. So the safe bet is to leave what you have where it's at and do whatever you can in tier 5. or what have you. We don't have to break the bank in tier 5 at this moment, but I just don't want to see anybody get hurt that way, for the lack of
Yeah, that would be really bad because
understanding.
I could see that
Yeah,
happening too.
yeah.
Because that's going to fill. That's going to fill pretty fast. And if you do cancel and you don't get in, yeah, I mean, you've lost all the rewards in the last couple of months that you were farming, and now you can't get them into tier 5, and then you got to start all over again.
Any dollar
So,
do without.
you're mining every day. Yep, you're mining every day. So claim your mining rewards and, use them, stake them. You don't have to have, thousands in tier 5. Just what's extra that's laying around that you're not going to sell, but you have in your wallet, and get those in the nest so that you're ready. I mean, even if it's only 10 or 20 MoveQuest, it's still going to be beneficial to farm in tier 5. That's all I got tonight, unless there's anything else to go over.
Haven't had time to
One
read
quick
them all.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
One quick question in the Q&A. People are asking if you purchase right away a Trailblazer or a Explorer or a Miner through the pay as you mine, even in one time, so you still get the commission. So even if they pay one time, meaning just for one
Yep,
submission, you get the commission.
correct.
Perfect. All right. So what I'll
We're
do,
trying to add in as much value as we can. Here's what I want to explain to people too about the commission that goes out on the Trailblazer and the Explorer. You guys have all heard me say a ton of times, we don't require the new money, right, to stay afloat. It's the engaged ecosystem. Now, if somebody comes, that's why we're giving the Trailblazers away. Now, if somebody comes in and they mint a Trailblazer, that's $100, right? We're bringing that in, but it's a way for us to give you commission and compensate you. And so that's $50 that you get, but that's adding $50 to liquidity as well. So when you do go out and you are sharing the app and people mint those Trailblazers or the Explorers, this is giving you that additional reward. But in addition to that, it's also more liquidity that we wouldn't have had the way that we were doing it. So it's a big bump for the liquidity pool and for the project as well. So it's giving you revenue right away that you're not mining for just by sharing the app, but it's also going to help deepen that liquidity pool as well. Right now, the liquidity is all about depth.
and the pay as you go, has that been designed to be just a permanent fixture in the ecosystem?
Yep.
Permanent fixture. Perfect.
Everything you guys are seeing right now are permanent fixtures. We don't have anything that's temporary. We've wound down all the promotions, right? The only thing that we're doing right now is giving those navigators away in the mining dock, which we plan to remove unless I can find a really good reason not to. We don't want to make competition with a leasing. So I have to really think on that one and really work out all the scenarios. If it doesn't pose any issue with the leasing, which at this point in time I think it could, then we could leave the navigators in the mining dock. But if it does, then we'll remove those from the mining dock, which means people really, I mean, that's a benefit because you're stocking up on those digital assets, digital real estate for when we do open the leasing up and the blockchain goes live. And then I really do believe that we will remove those from that mining dock. That would be the only thing that I can see right now that would end. But that was promotion anyway. Everybody should expect that to end. And as promised, when the pay as you mine went live, we were going to remove the Trailblazers from the mining dock so that when you share it with people, if they want the Trailblazers, they pay for them. And they can mine with the Phantoms with a pay as you mine. So they can be mining with the Phantoms while they're paying down, by buying these Q-tips to get their Trailblazers if they need time to do it. If they need, do it over time. It's just another way to remove that barrier of entry because it's not, it's not cheap to get started with MoveQuest unless you're using phantom miners.
Um,
And didn't you say, Wally,
uh,
they can mine with 18 phantoms now?
yeah, they can mine with 18 phantoms if the dock is naked. If you have anything in the dock, it's capped to 9 phantoms. So you don't even have to change that value. The system will recognize if you have something in the dock, it's going to use 9 phantoms on top of that. So in total, you can basically mine with 27 miners, 9 phantoms included. But if you don't have anything, if the dock is empty, you are able to mine with 18 phantoms.
So a person could mine with 8, and they get the choice, right, to choose the Trailblazer Phantom and the Explorer Phantom, or is it just limited to the Trailblazer? Remember, I'd asked you if you could add them both.
Yeah,
What did you end up?
Trailblazer Phantom only. And the
Okay,
reason why is that, yeah, so Trailblazer Phantoms,
that's fine.
so they choose the number,
So you'll mine,
how much.
so you'll just choose whether you want Trailblazer or Explorer for chips when you have enough chips. But you can mine with 18 phantoms. You don't have to pay for your miners. You can mine with the phantoms did you increase the days to the 135 like I had asked?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay. And you can mine with the
100,
phantoms for 100 and
135 days,
go
yeah.
ahead. Yep.
Yeah,
So we
100
increased it
and
from 90 days to 135 days. And the reason we did that is for people who are mining up to tier 3. So you'd have your phantom miners that you could mine with if you wanted to participate in the golden hatchery. They would cover you through tier 1, 2, and 3, and it gives you 135 days to be able to accumulate enough Q chips. Now, the Q chips, I'll just tell you, we were going to do the ERC 1155, but it was too limiting. So we went with the ERC 20. Now, that means we can list the Q chip. We have no intention of doing that anytime soon. But at some point in the future, you could see Q chip listed as well, where people would be able to go to the exchange and buy them on the exchange. Do I have any, I have no, I do not plan to list that token anytime in the near future. When I say anytime in the near future, I mean a year or two from now. It does take the AVAC when the liquidity pool for MoveQuest is completely stable, when the community is the size that we need it to be. That is when we can list the Q chip because we don't want to compete with the liquidity pool that we currently have. So there has to be a lot of dynamics that come into place before we would consider listing the Q chip, but the option is there. And each Q chip has a value of 10 cents, just so you know. So if and when we decide to list that token, it would be listed at a minimum of 10 cents because that's what you're paying for it. And I'm not going to go over that in any kind of detail because I don't know. It could happen in 60 days if the thing just goes viral overnight, and it could happen 2 to 3 years from now. It all depends on so many factors that take place. So that's on the back burner, and it's going to simmer.
Perfect. And Wale, while I have you here, if you look at the screen real quick, I know you've helped me with this once before, but when a person is coming out of one of the hatcheries and they're going through the process and they type in an amount and it says, please enter an amount greater than 0. Did you tell me to have them try the simulator, or is there another fix for this?
Well, they need to enter the amount in the top when they
Right,
select the
right.
amount.
They're doing that, but it's still, even though they've typed in an amount, it brings this screen up. And I can't remember what you had me do. It was try the simulator, or it was some type of a refresh because you said it was only counting a certain number of them at one time.
Well, I need to see this case by case.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what's going on. It could be just MetaMask that is not sending the data
Okay.
to the field to inform that. But if you have that case, I
Okay.
mean, I can look at it and see it in real time to see why exactly it's not reading the amount.
Okay. No problem. And then real quick, because
If it wants them to refresh their RPC in MetaMask, because now MetaMask will say, please refresh your RPC. And
okay.
sometimes that will fix it too.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll jump on that one offline. And then I've got quite a few questions in reference to the contract address for the Q-chip. Is that
Yeah,
something
it's
that you
already.
have readily available that I can share with everyone right now while we're on the
Yeah,
call?
yeah. Can you
Okay,
open
perfect. Yep.
your browser and go to MoveQuest?
Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. Share my screen again and get the right one. Boom. I'm in MoveQuest.
Okay, go to the help section. So dashboard, then help,
Here you go. To the help center.
help center. Go to contracts at the right.
Bam. There it
Okay,
is.
and you have the Q chips. You can add them. You can just click the MetaMask icon just in front for Avalanche.
Right here. Oh,
The MetaMask
No, the
one. You
MetaMask
have.
icon to the right of it, right
Yeah,
there. The
yeah.
little box.
in theory. I was just saying.
Yeah. Let me see.
And it could be because I don't, this is a fake MetaMask
Here,
on
it's coming up.
and I'm not signed into it, but it's not a real,
Yeah, that's okay.
MetaMask.
So yeah, you just
Yeah.
click on the MetaMask box and you just
Add
hit
it.
confirm that you want to add that contract to your wallet address and it'll be there.
Perfect. Okay. That's beautiful. So just to retrace those steps, you go to the dashboard from when you log in, go down to the bottom left-hand side where it says Help Center, and then go over to the Contracts tab, and it is there now, ready, willing, and able. Perfect. Thank you for that. Along with all of the other contract addresses for your
Yep.
viewing pleasure. Perfect. All righty. Well, I will try. Again, we're working on putting together that, FAQ document as well. So I will definitely make sure I record any questions that we may not have gotten to this evening and, get those compiled and answered for everyone as we are continuing to move forward. And yes, the call is recorded, so that will be made available here in short order. And Waleed, if you have anything else, or if not, Ms. Lynette, let me know. And we'll go ahead and close it out. I hope everyone has had the time to go into the chat. I know Miss Kiki has been, repeatedly posting the Google form there to make sure that everyone on the call does receive their Q chips. And believe it or not, the last two things we've done, and Lynette has sent those things out. I'm I'm probably the only
It's
one.
not gonna be.
I'm the only one that never submitted his, so I got to make sure
Oh,
that I
that's
get mine
funny.
in there as well. So
You just need to let me know when you forget to do something. But I want everybody to understand. So I have to wait for Waleed to add the bonk send feature to my admin panel. So you probably won't get him tonight, but I'm sure by tomorrow he's got to add that to the admin dashboard for me. Otherwise, I have to go wallet by wallet by wallet by wallet, and I'm not going to do that. So I don't have enough time anymore to do that.
Okay. So
So
we have
expect them
200.
tomorrow, not tonight.
Okay. We have 252 people on the call. I'll probably have 7,000 wallet addresses, but that's okay. But
No, that's not okay.
I know, I'm just messing with you. I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted to put that out there real quick.
But
But
you are probably right.
yeah,
Maybe
but
not 7,000, but I'm sure
yeah,
we'll see 300 or 400.
yeah. So
But some people are mining with multiple wallets, but kind
correct.
of want to just limit it to one person, not 10 wallets. But
Correct.
either way, we
So
love you guys. So we'll make it happy.
I have already taken a snapshot prior to me making that statement. So we'll know the ones that come in afterward. So that being said, I'm going to close out the Google document at the end of our song. Outside of that, once again, I want to thank everyone for coming, spending a little time with us this evening, gaining a little more information as to what's going on inside the MoveQuest ecosystem, and we look forward to that which is to come. Good night, everybody.
Awesome. Good night, everybody.
I'm counting the gains and I'm burning the low. My phone is my compass, the satellite's my guide. I got a digital engine burning deep inside. From the city concrete to the mountain mud, riding a contract in my own red blood. The trail is calling and it don't take no. I got 1,000,000 miles left to go. It's a world without borders, a map without end. Every mile I conquer is a digital friend. I'm out on the MoveQuest trail. I'm a hurricane wind in a tattered sail. Every step is a token, every mile is a win. I'm shedding the past and the original sin. Tracked by the light, wanted by the sun. The quest ain't over till the work is done. MoveQuest trail. Go the extra mile. I'm doing it now with a 100 smile. Bedrolls are shouting, don't you dare slow down. I'm the king of the trail, I don't need a crown. Move to earn is the code I live. I got a lot to take, cause I got a lot to give. My GPS is humming, victory song. This is where the brave and the bold belong. The original sin, tracked by the light, wanted by the sun. The quest ain't over till the work is done. Step, minute, run, minute. I'm a master of the circuit. The world is the gym, the quest is the way. I'm earning the glory of a brand new day. Out on the MoveQuest trail, out on the MoveQuest trail. I'm a hurricane wind in a tattered sail. Every step is a token, every mile is a win. I'm shedding the past and the original sin. On the trail, MoveQuest trail, through the fire. MoveQuest trail, higher and higher and higher. Check the map, I'm still moving.